the city.
More than a decade since the series of horrifying light gun shooters first came to coin-op, there's hardly a soul who hasn't flunked a few quarters into a House of the Dead machine, at the local pizza parlor or a movie theater. Now, the House of the Dead 2 and 3 have been exhumed from their arcade cabinets to haunt we gunslingers. But do they hold together after all these years? Or is the flesh starting to rot from these old bones? The House of the Dead 2 and 3 Return features both shoot-'em-up titles in their original forms, with a handful of extras on the side. Since the Wii lacks a coin slot, the biggest change lies in how credits are handled. Rather than being able to pump in a few more quarters when you die, your credits are predetermined when you start a game, and once you're out of credits, it's game over. You'll be limited to 4 credits when you first start, but each play session is rewarded by increasing the maximum credits or life. The system certainly makes the games more challenging, but it can be frustrating to repeatedly restart when the only limitation in the arcades was the amount of change jingling in your pockets. In addition to the arcade experiences, there are a few alternate ways to play, most of which are centered on House of the Dead 2. The oddly titled Original Mode allows you to tweak the second game with items that change your character model or boost attributes like health, credits, and ammo. You'll also be able to snag additional credits along the way, and after a few attempts, you'll unlock a House of the Dead 3 minigame that rewards you with even more items for Original Mode. Boss Mode lets you take on any of House of the Dead 2's monsters in an attempt to beat them in record time. Training Mode puts you through your paces by testing your ability to accomplish goals like rescuing citizens or blasting barrels within a time limit. Time Attack features an ever-diminishing timer that gains seconds with well-placed headshots, and if you can conquer both arcade titles, you'll unlock Extreme Mode, which makes enemies immune to any bullets not fired at their weak points. There are a fair number of ways to play, and you can always share credits with a friend to shoot zombies together, but there's still no denying that it's a pretty short experience, with each title lasting about 45 minutes.
Success!
Sega was smart to put both games on one disc, but it's a shame that the original House of the Dead wasn't included as well.
What?
House of the Dead's Twitch-based gameplay is simple, yet satisfying. You choose the Wii Remote to shoot zombies, evil owls, and other creatures before they can reach you. And many enemies also toss knives or other projectiles that can be shot out of the air. You can only survive a handful of attacks, but you can find health items like quickly blasting crates and barrels or rescuing people in need.
Thank you. What would I do without you?
While the Wii Remote isn't quite the same as a pump-action shotgun, it's as good a replacement as can be expected. Sega has included options to calibrate the device to your screen and turn the cursor on or off. To reload, you just quickly point away from the screen like the classic light gun arcade games, making it easy to do with a quick shake. Both games feature on-rails action with branching paths, but the two titles handle alternate routes a bit differently. Levels in House of the Dead 2 vary depending on which citizens you rescue. Saving a driver under assault will take you through a path through the streets, but letting the car skid through the wall of a nearby building will lead you through the damaged shop. Your options in House of the Dead 3 are a bit more obvious, as menus pop up whenever you come to a fork in the road, and the choices are related more to the order that you tackle the levels, rather than finding different roads through each. Stages conclude with memorable boss battles against creatures as menacing as a Hydra, or as bizarre as a giant sloth. Bosses' weak points are clearly labeled, but you'll need to unload your ammo at the right time to defend against their attacks. In general, both games are still pretty fun to blast through, but the older game is definitely the better of the two. House of the Dead 3 is shorter and easier than its predecessor, and the enemy death animations make it hard to distinguish between enemies writhing in agony and foes that could use a bit more lead between the eyes.
Don't kill me!
Sega has brought these classics back just the way they looked originally, but we're guessing that nostalgia has led you to believe they look better. The 8 to 10-year-old graphics are extremely blocky and blurry by today's standards, particularly in House of the Dead 2. The voice work and story are amazingly awful, with lines delivered in monotone or broken English that are only fit to be laughed at.
Thank you for rescuing me.
Players can switch between red and green blood as they desire, and the gaping hole you put in a fat zombie's gut is still worth gawking at, but otherwise, this is one awful looking and sounding game.
James, I tried. Don't underestimate the enemy.
For better,
No!
or worse. The House of the Dead 2 and 3 Return is a faithful representation of the arcade classics, and players interested in reliving these titles again and again can grab a copy at a $30 price point.
How could anyone do this?
One can hope that with this and Ghost Squad already under its belt, Sega will stop digging up graves for the Wii.
I don't want to die.